Hi,
Yep, that's
everybody, and welcome to Stygian Spotlight. Today, I have one of my favorite people here, Miss Sarah Leonard. Would you please tell us your stage name and where you're from?
my stage name is Lillith Engur, meaning the mother of monsters, and I'm from Central Illinois.
Mother of Monsters. That is so incredibly perfect. Um, what first drew you to the Stygian Collective? I know you've been a member for a minute, so what first brought you to us?
Well, I had been a fan of the Stygian Sisters back when they were a local troupe, local to my area. Um, I was a major fangirl and very, very scared to talk to them because they seemed so intimidating on the stage. So I didn't get to know them for a very long time. I just show up at their shows and kind of lurk. Um, but then the troupe that I was in at the time sort of went on hiatus, and I needed some way to scratch that dance itch. And Daywin was offering classes locally and occasional workshops. And so I started taking those, and we hit it off and got to be friends outside of the classes. And so we just message every now and then. And then the plague hit, and we all got stuck inside our houses. And she was one of the first to really throw herself into the online shows. You know, back in the early days when we had no idea how to use Zoom properly, and everything had technical glitches constantly, and you could hear half the audience members in the background because they'd forget to mute themselves. Um, and it just so happened one evening while she was waiting for her turn, because we still hadn't figured out that you could pre-record for these shows. So she was waiting for her turn to do her Zoom dance live. While she was waiting for that to be her turn, she and I were messaging back and forth, and she had just uh, finished the process of moving everything online, because she and the other Stygian sisters had decided to open up the membership to anyone who wanted to join, not just people who are local to them, because why not? We were all online anyway.
Right?
And uh, over the course of an hour, the combined, let's call it persuasion of her and my husband convinced me to join. It also was a little bit like bullying, but in a really, really friendly way. So I think I joined the group only a couple of months after it was officially created. And then I proceeded to not know how to properly film myself for quite some time. And honestly, I'm still not great.
Oh, I beg to differ.
No, I mean in terms of like actually setting up the camera and getting the lighting correct and things like that. I don't have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to that. Um, but I've at least figured out uh what distance I need to be from the camera to catch the moves. Oh, there was one of my early ones. It's so embarrassing. One of the most critical moves in the entire choreography was that I was reaching up to grab my own puppet strings, and my hands went out of frame.
Oh, whoopsie.
And we didn't have a
I'm
single take where
pause.
that didn't happen. So,
I'm sorry. I need to pause for a second. So, my next question for you. How has your dance journey changed since joining the collective?
well, There's kind of two parts to the answer of that because I have never encountered a group of people more supportive than the Stygian Collective. Everyone is so genuinely enthusiastic and giving and supportive. I mean, if you want a bunch of goth cheerleaders, you've got them. And so my being surrounded by these incredible dancers who have put way more time and effort into making their bodies move in ways that I can't make mine do. Um,
Yet.
Yet there is always that caveat. Um, but as much as that would normally have made me feel really self-conscious and and comparing myself to just incredible dancers, I've never had more confidence in my dancing than when I've been with you guys. And it's because and I noticed this early on when it was still the Stygian sisters. I noticed in back when it was still live shows that I was always part of that I mean, I did one of my first sword dances at one of their shows, and the sword literally fell off my head. After I had struggled with it for half of the dance, it fell off my head. And under normal, anywhere else for any other audience, I'd have just been mortified and turned beet red and slunk off the stage. And with them, I just sort of giggled and kept going. And so there's always been that vibe to the core group members, and it's just been reinforced through everybody else. So that's part one. Part two is that in the time since I've joined, I've had changes in my health, and they have affected my ability to dance. And again, the Stygians have been so understanding about everything. And rather than being, upset with me or even just a little bit disappointed in me, uh, everything has been, well, whatever you can do is great. Do what makes you happy, do what you like, whatever you have to share with us, we're happy to share with you. And I mean, that's just the way everybody is in this group. And I cannot begin to tell you how much of a critic I am in my own head. And so have some voices balancing that out is very, very nice.
I can relate. Let's see. Okay, here's an interesting question. So we've learned a little bit about who you are inside of dance. Who are you outside of dance?
Ah,
Only tell us what you'd like to tell us.
well, let's see. Uh, I'm an absolute nerd. Like anything, any piece of information. I love to learn. For me, learning is not some noble quest. Learning is like a drug. I get a high from learning new things, and it doesn't have to be anything useful. I get just as much enjoyment out of learning the economic factors that underlay the French Revolution as I do learning the name of a YouTuber's childhood pet. Um, I take just as much pleasure in learning um, how the different complement factors initiate and perpetuate an immune cascade response as I do uh, learning uh, why the Three Musketeers is so much longer than it needs to be because Alexandre Dumas got paid by the word. So that's me.
I love that.
But at the same, but that lends itself to being a nerd, learning all of the things that are typically considered useful academic information and all of the other stuff that makes me a geek, being really excited about Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons, and the list of incredibly geeky topics goes on.
Which is why we
And
love you because you fit right in. We're all a bit geeky over
oh,
here.
I know. I mean, the number of D&D geeks that we've got in the group. Whew.
Right? Fabulous.
But yeah, and I don't know, and I can be really shy and inhibited in public and with strangers. But as you can tell from the way I'm talking right now, once you get me going, I don't shut up. And so this is, and this is the way I've always been. I I don't have any breaks once I get started.
That's all right. We love you. And
I know.
on that note, actually, for any new members or people who are considering joining, what is your advice? And especially to those that may feel a bit shy or different.
My advice is my advice is give yourself the opportunity to get to know the dancers as people outside of dance. We have it's perfectly possible to chat with each other before and after, online classes and things like that, and at events. But we also have just at least once a month, we'll have just a social Zoom call to chat. We'll have things like that. And I absolutely recommend participating in those because the more that you get to know the Stygians as people, the less you are intimidated by these flawless goddesses on stage who look like they are 1 second away from murdering you, and you might actually enjoy it. Uh,
That
you get to know
description,
them. Oh, Nyx. Oh my God.
right?
The look that Nyx can give you.
Right to the
Um,
bone.
yes, yes. But you get to find out that they're just a bunch of big goofy marshmallows.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy, do they have your back. So that's really my, especially if you're uncertain of your place in the group. Give yourself the opportunity to socialize with them as people, and you will find your place in the group. And that is right on the same level as everybody else. It is the most welcoming group of people I've ever met in my life. So yeah,
Join us.
join us. Join us.
We have cookies.
Oh, we do. We have cookies and really cool outfits.
Yes, we do. And spikes and chains and anyways, I'll calm down now. Well,
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for joining us for this little interview. It's always a pleasure getting to know our members. Until the next time, everybody, this was Gothic Doll interviewing Miss Lillith Engur.